Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, robots in disguise. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
Such heroic nonsense.
Hello and welcome to the Transformers, the podcast from CaliCo Productions. This is going to be a podcast focusing on all things Transformers. Joining me today is my co-host, Guy Jessup Braithwaite.
Hello.
And joining us for a first episode, which is fantastic in my opinion, is the host of Toygrind over on YouTube, the fantastic Thew Adams.
Hello, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Nice to have you. Right, so this episode, we're just going to cover G1, why we fell in love with it, why we're still in love with it, and why we buy the plastic representations of said things. So I'll throw it over to you first, and we'll just take it from there.
Sure. I mean, being a overgrown man-child from the 80s, I kind of have plenty of experience with Transformers, like reaching back to when I was a kid. I was like, it's one of the earliest things I remember like being obsessed with as a young'un. And obviously there have been other sort of things that come and go in the meantime, but that was always the one that made the most lasting impression. And sort of coming back to it as an adult, the first thing that sort of got me involved was the sort of Transformers alternators era.
Yes.
Like seeing those characters brought back as like realistic, full-featured toys. Just so much more sort of involved and impressive. So I was kind of hooked immediately. Honestly, I sort of got into alternators and the classics that were kicking off at the time, sort of 2005, 6.
Yeah.
And basically, I've been ass deep in obsession ever since. And essentially now it's now I make a show about it on YouTube, and it's kind of my entire life now.
Oh yeah.
So, kind of
nothing wrong with that.
Sort of there. I have sort of no choice but there to be nothing wrong with it.
What started as a hobby is now a way of life. I completely get that.
Isn't it though? Yeah. It's,
yes. I mean, I look around at my collection sometimes. I'm like, if I sold all of this, I could probably buy a car.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the life I chose.
Oh hell yeah! I'm happy with it. Don't get me wrong, but hurts the old purse strings a few times.
Yeah, I think sort of looking back on years of collecting, sort of the cumulative impact that it's had.
Oh Christ! Yes.
on the decisions I made and the way my life went. I don't know if regret's the word, but it's a little weird. We're weird people for doing
hell yeah! But it's good. It's good. I mean,
it's fun though, right?
Exactly. I mean, I still get as much joy now opening a new Transformer and transforming it for the first time. I get as much joy now as I did when I was a kid. You know, there's still that little twinge of, oh, I did this. You know, it's like the first time you saw a Rubik's Cube, you go, oh, fuck, I did it.
Yeah. It's
right.
True, yeah.
Guy, how did you get into Transformers or similar kind of thing?
Well, much like Thew, I'm an old fart. So, kudos.
Team.
Yes, too right. Go team old. I saw it on when it originally aired, and I just fell in love with it as a kid. Because let's face it, up to then, robots had been a bit one-dimensional, hadn't they? Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
I was just about to say Lost in Space, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, and these came along, they were sentient robots, capable of emotion, so it just fleshes out the stories and makes them brilliant. So after watching it on Wackaday,
God, yes, I remember that.
Good old Timmy, bless him, still makes a fortune on the student circuit.
That's where the money's at.
After, you get, what was it, you used to get like 5 minutes of an episode per day.
Damn if I remember.
Yeah, I think it was something like 5 or 10 minutes of an episode,
Yeah.
and they'd flesh it out for a week. That was like 6-week holidays, wasn't it?
Oh God, yes.
So yeah, so it started from there, and of course I saw Megatron and fell in love.
Didn't we all?
Of course,
Yes.
of course. I mean, legendary
Go
Frank
Collins.
Welker providing the voice. I mean, just
Voices.
well,
He
yeah,
did most of them.
exactly. If we got him on for an episode, that would be like half the cast covered.
Yeah,
He was just about every Decepticon, yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, he was Soundwave.
he was some of the Autobots as well.
Yeah, yeah. And he did a poo from Aladdin, which I only recently found out. And I was like, what?
Yeah, and
Really?
Uni
The
in
monkey in
Dungeons
Aladdin?
and Dragons.
Yeah, he
So-
was like famous for doing animal noises and that. He was like,
Yeah,
he was like the giant Saiyan ape on Dragon Ball Z.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
probably the little, I think it was like the shitty little pet creature on Defenders of the Earth as well. He was like,
yeah.
he was every of that character. He was
Yeah.
every
He was
snarf.
He was the unicorn on Dungeons and Dragons.
Of course he was.
I think it should say on his
Brilliant.
CV, you know, if you require a small, weird animal noise, contact Frank Welker.
Yeah.
You know. But,
Well, because your man.
yeah, well, that's very true.
Hey, Frank, you gotta hear this. Look us up, buddy. Oh.
Oh, yeah. In the highly
But, so,
unlikely
yeah.
chance that you see this.
That'd be
Oh.
quite a jump in
Big.
guest quality for episode 2.
Yo, well, that would be awesome. But for me, it very similar to sort of you guys. I kind of caught it the first time around. I mean, I can remember being maybe 4 years old watching the 86 movie on a recorded VHS tape that my dad had done for me. It was, you know, masking tape down one edge and it just said Transformers. That was it. And I must have worn that goddamn thing out watching it. Like, even now,
Yeah.
if I put it on, I can literally do it word for word, perfect timing without even thinking about it. I'm doing the washing up and I'm just there reciting lines away, just like. When it comes to the figures, I must admit, sort of through the years, it's kind of been very on, off. Like, I
Yeah.
had quite a lot of G1 stuff. I've still got a G1 Rodimus down here. He's seen better days, bless him, but I do still have one. And after that, I didn't really go into the G2 or the Action Masters or anything like that. It wasn't until Beast Wars that it kind of piqued my interest again. And I can never remember the name of the character, so God forgive me, but it was the big fire ant one.
Inferno.
Inferno, yes, that was it. I've seen him, I was walking through Woolworths, of all places, walking through Woolworths. Just happened to go down the Transformer aisle because it was next to the Star Wars stuff. I was into Star Wars at that time, and I seen this red fire ant, and I was just like, I'm buying that. I'm buying that. That's just a Transformer that is a giant ant that is also made out of translucent red plastic. Hell yeah, I'm buying that thing.
Hook me up.
Yes, exactly. And then from then it just kind of, like you when the alternators started coming around and things like that, that was when I really kind of got a lot more invested interest in it, to the point where I actually bought the Unicron you've got up on the shelf there. Actually, I bought that one when it first came out.
Oh, the Armada one. Yeah, we
Yes,
love him.
I actually bought that when it first came out, and I loved it. I was like, it's Unicron. I mean,
It is quite a thing.
it
Mm.
is definitely.
So it's that latest one though. Whoa.
Oh, the one, you mean the one that Thew has?
Shut up. Don't put me on blast for that. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm not. I'm hoping you show off.
I actually quite dislike that thing. It's such a mess. It's such a mess. The Armada one, like, it's not perfect, but it's cute, and
It's
it's
compact and bijou.
it is. It's super. I mean, Supreme Class at the time was whoa, amazing, but like the new one, it's too big.
Yeah.
It's too much, man. It made me I kind of hit a wall with collecting when I got that thing, because it's like
Where
this
do you
is
go
absurd.
from there?
Yeah, because the only way now is down. So like,
Yeah.
it did make me feel very peculiar about the life I live, because not only is it's enormous, it's a pain, and the box it comes in is literally as big as a dishwasher.
Yeah,
So
I watched the unboxing, and I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so
same.
subscribed to your channel. I've got to see that.
Please do. Tell your friends.
I must admit, when I'm talking about Transformers, I do actually mention your reviews and things quite a lot. And people who know about you, like, sing your praises, like, oh yeah, he's a really great guy. I love his reviews. People who don't know, like, oh yeah, willing to check it out. And then they come back about 2 weeks later and they're like, oh wow, that guy, brilliant, brilliant. And I'm like, told you. So you got your fans. Yes. You got your fans.
I am talented. Yes. Let's talk about me some more.
Oh yes. Shifting over to other large transformery type things, the third party Fortress Maximus.
Oh God!
It's like what, 5 foot tall? Is it, or something stupid like that?
It's absurd. Isn't it like £2,000? Something
like that. Stupidly expensive. It's about, I think my friend said earlier, it is spot on 50 inches tall. His partner is 52 inches tall. So it's almost as tall as she is. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Where would you put that in either mode? Robot mode, base mode, chip, no matter what. That's taking up a room on its own.
They must make those to... They must do like custom orders for that. They can't like mass produce something like that, surely.
No. You'd think not, no. But
you'd like to think not.
It's the logistics of it, transforming the damn thing that would get me. It's like transforming a small person, you know. It's just
half a day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to watch the videos and stuff when people do review it, but I'm going to be laughing my ass off the entire time. It's like, you spent money on that?
You'll have to go to another channel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you for passing on that one. As soon as I seen it, I was like, nope.
No, I mean, I appreciate there may be a demand for it. Presumably.
But few joins draws the line.
That could be a new series for you, Few draws the line at, and then a subject.
Yeah.
Oh God, let's.
You'd be there all day.
I wonder how much mileage there is in the context of Transformers before we get into the weird shit.
I must admit, I've read some things online that I wish I hadn't read.
Please don't elaborate on that.
Hold on. Yeah.
Just, you'll never watch Transformers Prime the same ever again. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Moving swiftly on, what did we think of the G1 cartoon, everybody? Starting with you.
Oh,
nice segue, eh?
Indeed.
Well, speaking of ass, I'm not a fan of the original cartoon, like in a big, like in the macro sense. I love the movie.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love the movie? But like the cartoon for me was always kind of secondary. I kind of grew up with the comics. I loved
actually.
Oh, the Marvel UK.
Yeah, definitely. That was sort of how I experienced Transformers mostly. Because like you said, the cartoon was so infrequently broadcast in the UK, and you always had to catch it just at the right moment. Because what option did you have? Set the video? I couldn't figure that out. I was 4 years old, for heaven's sake. So I've only really experienced the cartoon in recent years. Aren't we all, though?
Sorry,
isn't that what we're doing?
Oh, God, yeah. I must admit, I did try to watch the G1 cartoon today, purely for research purposes, so I could come up with questions for today. And I got about 4 episodes in, and I was like, I'm going to put some music on. It was just, it felt like a slog to get through.
Well, that's the age we live in, is sort of, we don't have to watch things piecemeal anymore. It's all just available. You can watch everything. And I think that sort of doesn't do the show any favors. Because it's fun it's fun for 20 minutes. But if you try and marathon the whole thing, it's going to ruin your day.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. But, I don't know.
Sacrilege and Judases.
Don't get me wrong, there's certain episodes that I do still enjoy, and I can watch just those episodes, but I mean, watching the whole series in one, it's just...
Don't make me give you my disapproving look.
Just like, I know this, I know all this, can we just get to the fighting? But mentioning the comics there for you,
Yeah.
got a little story behind this one that I have here.
All fall.
All Fall Down.
I don't know them by arc.
It's the one where Megatron and Ratchet get fused together.
Oh, is that the very one? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The story behind this one involves a mutual friend of ours, Colin.
Oh, Colin. Yeah.
Yes. About.
God, I haven't seen him in years. But go on.
About 8 years ago now. Yeah, 8 years ago. I asked him to be the best man at my wedding.
Oh, for real?
Yes, I did. And as a best man gift for his at the time car, it's since been scrapped because the only thing holding that car together was the rust. I got him some Decepticon logos for his car. And he come up to mine 2 days later and he's like, I found this. It's a best man's present to you. And I'm like, okay. So I unwrap it and it's this. And apparently he'd seen it in a charity shop for 50p and just as soon as he's seen it, he was like, I cannot leave here without that because I know who wants that. And he brought it straight round to me. So it was a little wedding present from Colin. So I've got to keep hold of this for life.
Fantastic.
So it is quite a good read. It's very of its time, but it's still like for a giggle, worth a flick through. So
yeah, it's true. Like you can say the same thing about the comics. It's like it was good then. And it's still okay now, but it all does look a little bit rusty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So like, just some of the image of Megatron and Ratchet fused together, that will haunt me forever.
Somebody needs to make a statue of that. Some company needs to do like a maquette of that and just release it because it'd sell. Because it's creepy, it's weird, and it's got a story behind it. So.
I think that'd be quite a good just sort of novelty item for the layman, really, just because it's such a weird idea.
Funko.
Yeah.
A Funko Pop. There you go. Yeah, I hate those fucking things.
Yeah, but a vinyl statue would be the appropriate medium for that.
Yes.
Because you're not going to make it work as an action figure, and like.
No.
What those remember like Hard Hero and that all those like ceramic busts you could get.
Oh,
yeah,
they were so sort of clumsy and like they were fun at the time, but like they just never left the shelves. They were in stores for years and years. So that is the one of the very few occasions I will accept a Funko product of Megatron and Ratchet melted together.
Yes, I can agree with you. If that's the one Funko I'm ever going to buy, it would be that one for definite. Guy, your thoughts on the OG cartoon then?
Oh, well, as you can probably imagine, I loved it. And to be honest, I still love it, but of course, season 3 and 4.
Divisive.
Well, this is the problem. Season 1, season 2, the animation's good. They get to the movie. Oh, it's lush. It's bloody lush. And then you see season 3. Oh.
I must admit.
Off model. Terrible.
Yeah.
And the stories went to pap as well, to be honest, with a few exceptions. I mean, of course, the only saving grace for you, Cali, is, of course, Rodimus in charge.
That was purely by accident. In other words, he threw himself in the middle of it like a big dickhead. The only thing I can fault him for is like, yeah,
he killed Optimus,
but he stepped up. So
yeah, but he's still no Optimus.
True.
You know it. I will have to be the voice of authority on this.
Yes, you are team Megatron after all.
Exactly. Such heroic nonsense. But yeah, I mean, I still have DVD box sets.
I've got the 30th anniversary Blu-ray, so yeah. I'm all good on that front.
Yeah.
But speaking of the film, we were briefly talking about this the other day on Messenger Guide. The sort of kind of slight variant cuts of it that seem to exist all out in the world, and we were talking about the one that for no apparent reason had the Star Wars style text scroll at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to a few people about it. Not many people remember it, but those that do are like, yeah, I've never seen it anywhere else. Like, any of the DVDs and stuff I bought have not included that. And I've been like, that must be like some weird rare ass cut then or something. Here's the original copy he's got, I'm guessing.
It's the UK cut, yeah.
Yes, I thought it was. That's what I was saying today about it.
With this
the UK cut.
Iconic poster art.
Yes. Because it's the one, isn't that the same one that right at the end definitively says, yes, Optimus Prime is coming back?
Yeah, they had to put that in for the parents to soothe the kids after the trauma.
Yeah, it's like, we've killed him. Don't worry, he's coming back.
Yeah, I think they put that text crawl in because for somebody whose first Transformers thing would be the movie, if you hadn't seen like the cartoon, you don't know what a Decepticon is. So they got to lay out the basics of the universe just for the newcomers to the series. But like, I think
to it.
Is there? I think also in the home video cut of this, they cut out the oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he just goes, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
Like there's this big awkward silence.
Pause.
Yeah.
I do remember one.
I had to get that U badge.
Oh yeah. But you mentioning the oh shit moment, I do remember. I can't remember where I got it from though. I had a copy of the DVD that had the film and 2 music videos. One of them was one of the songs featured in the film, and the other one was just the oh shit moment, pretty much on a loop with some background music for about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, that's on this. It's Instruments of Destruction, but with the vocals taken out, and they just put oh shit all over it. Just the full song.
First time I put that on, I was like, okay, they're really putting it out. It's like, yeah, we got away with this.
Yeah.
They really rinsed the PG rating.
Oh, Christ, yes.
It was brilliant. I was telling Cali this the other day, but was it when I first got the Blu-ray, the 30th anniversary? I was watching it and I was sat around watching it, and all lovely and Blu-ray gorgeousness. And my wife's in the dining room doing some university work. And she's seen it loads of times, but she'd never seen the cut with the oh shit on it. And all of a sudden, watching the scene, and there's my wife shouting through going, did I just hear that? I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
In a kid's show.
Oh, yes. The first time I watched the animated movie with my daughter, she must have been about maybe 6 or 7. And that bit comes on and she looks up at me. I look down at her. I look over to her mum. I look back at her and I just smile and go, didn't know. I didn't know. I fucking knew full well. I just didn't say shit. I let the film do it for me.
Hey-oh. Is that even the worst thing in the film, though, for a kid to witness?
God, no.
It opens on a genocide.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
The bit when Prowl gets shot, and like his eyes burn up and smoke comes out of his mouth. That's horrifying when you're a kid.
Oh,
well,
yeah, traumatized.
We'd not seen murder before in Transformers.
No, we'd see him get shot and just be like, oh, I'm all right, I'll be okay. But this is like, boom. He's not getting up.
Yeah.
Mom,
he's gone grey.
Getting up? He's a robot.
Why has he turned grey?
Oh,
yeah, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, that really.
You didn't need to see him flatline and then the light fade from his eyes and then he turns black.
I know.
Ugh, hideous.
It was just like one punch after another. That was. It's like flatline. Lights go out. Now he's turned grey, and you're just there like, stop it.
He's already dead.
Stop it, he's already dead. Sorry, that cracked me up, sorry.
Sorry, but we got to ram this point home. We've got to sell the new toys.
Christ, yes.
Anyway, here's Rodimus.
Yeah. Don't be bashing on my boy.
Do what I want.
Hey, I still represent with Optimus. He's down there with Ectotron, so.
Oh, I'm just futzing with a Gigawatt right here.
Oh, that's I really want that one. I got the Ghostbusters one. I really want that one.
I also got the
phone on here.
I got the Dracula one too.
Oh, I've been so tempted to pick that up. I keep seeing it in Toy Master.
It's great. It's great. It's kind of fucking badass. I love it. It's so stupid.
It's a bat, it's a vampire, and it's a transformer. I am sold.
Yeah. it's a goth icon as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. If ever there was going to be a goth transformer, that would be it. In all honesty.
Do you also detect a bit of Christopher Lee about that figure?
Quite possibly. Maybe a little bit.
Any fool knows that Christopher Lee is the ultimate.
Oh, of course. Him and Lugosi.
Yeah, this is based on Bela Lugosi, allegedly.
Haven't Transformers recently just announced another crossover, but I can't remember which one it is.
Of course they have. There's a profit to be had.
Yeah, there's fools with nostalgia and deep pockets.
Yes.
Well, there's that Jurassic Park one.
Yeah, that looks okay.
Meh.
I can kind of take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I like the look of the Jeep, but I'm not paying 120 quid for it.
Fuck no. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Well, that kind of brings us to Masterpiece, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I only have one, unfortunately, and that's Hot Rod.
Shock.
Oh, sorry, Mike. He's just come up with a weird thing.
Yeah, we all got interrupted by a pop-up there.
There we go. Sorry, don't know what happened there. It said I was reaching my limit, so we'll bring up.
It was Hasbro saying, buy some stuff.
yeah, it was a sponsored ad. But Masterpieces. I've only got the Hot Rod. This one, I'll grab it because it's right on the shelf. That one. That's the only one I've got Masterpiece wise.
Oh, the more recent Masterpiece one.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not brilliant because this piece is like completely flat. There's no kind of chest profile to him. Whereas
no
if you look at like all the other ones, and there's kind of that curvature to the chest, and this one's just flat. Still a good figure though.
It's interesting with the Masterpieces. I feel like with the level that the sort of studio series is reaching now, and like Transformers Kingdom and that, I feel like the Masterpieces are sort of outmoded now.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my friend Simon about the Kingdom Rodimus, and I was saying to him, I was trying to explain to him, it's basically like a mini Masterpiece. And he was like, "Oh, it can't because of die cast." I was like, "No. It's the level of engineering and the way it transforms. It reminds me of messing around with the Masterpiece Hot Rod, because like to get his arms and everything in proper orientation, you've got to twist the lower half, and then there's a second armored shot on the inside where the arms rotate around. So you're basically corkscrewing him twice to get him into the right position, and it's just like you normally see that level of engineering on a Masterpiece, not a mainline mass market one. And that's the point I was trying to make to him. And I think, as you just said, to a certain extent, I think Masterpieces are becoming a little bit outmoded because they're using the same engineering for both.
They use the same sort of design conventions. Oh God, like that the latest Cyclonus.
Yes,
it's ridiculous. Like the level of work they've put into that, it's a joke. You don't. And like it's a similar thing with like the deluxes, like we're talking like Smoke Screen and Blue Streak, and even with like Sideswipe and especially Wheeljack. It's like a miniature version of that pre-existing figure. They just sort of shaved off a lot of the, like I said, the die cast.
Yes.
For me, that was never a deal breaker. I just wanted the toy to be good. I'm not totally bothered about what it's made out of.
Yeah.
So like.
I was just going to say, perfect example for me is the most recent Galvatron, the Kingdom Galvatron.
Right on.
Perfect example of it definitely balances that very fine line between high-end toy and mass market toy. It definitely straddles that line just because of the engineering, the transformation. I mean, the way the head flips inside the chest piece and that folds out to form the base of the cannon, it's just so Masterpiece-esque. So
it's bliss, isn't it?
Yes, it is such a fun figure to mess around with, I will admit. So,
And let's face it, it's got to be better than G1 Ironhide and G1 Ratchet.
with no head.
Yeah. Facts.
Oh,
Yeah. Those for me are two of the only masterpieces that really hold up, is Ironhide and Ratchet.
yeah.
Because well, that suppose takes us on a bit of a tangent about like exclusivity. Like what they did with like Transformers Earthrise, like Ratchet and Ironhide were just not available like at mass market. And it's because they're such like central characters for me, like for a lot of us.
Yeah.
But for me, Ironhide was always a favorite.
Yeah.
So the fact that they bunged him in a like an Amazon exclusive 2-pack, and for like $100 or something, it's absurd. But then we still have the masterpieces, and they're still good, but there's not really a lot of interplay between sort of masterpiece and mainline, because they're way bigger, and they've just made everything really awkward. Is the point I'm trying to make?
Yeah.
Like, why can't it be easy?
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that one. I must admit, I like the way that some third-party companies kind of pick up a little bit of the slack with like characters that Hasbro or Takara have never done. Third parties are out there doing, and I appreciate the effort. They're a little bit too expensive, or sometimes just too obscure of a character for me. I try to keep my Transformers collection to characters I know. If I don't know the character, I'm not going to spend £100 on it.
Yeah, fair.
No, but if I know the character and I love the character like Hot Rod, I will quite happily spend money on it because I know it and I can appreciate it more. So I think that's what it comes down to. And as you were saying, like the exclusives, I recently picked up the Netflix spoiler 2-pack Megatron and Skeletor.
Oh yeah.
The paint job, I love it, but at the same time, it's just a repaint, and it doesn't justify the price point that it's going out at because of the fancy box and because of the tub of Play-Doh that comes with it and that kind of thing. It's just, it's just why?
It's very cheeky, isn't it? I feel like that they would put that because they sort of have to maintain a level of availability for the bigger characters. Like, so there always has to be a Megatron out, but it's the same one again, just with a less appealing color scheme for me, and hidden inside a secret box. So there's an element of like, are they trying to encourage people to take a chance on this box? Because what if there's something special in it? But that's not, you don't risk £60, do you?
Hell no.
You can do
not
that for a £5. Oh no.
Blind bag minifigures for a £5, not a problem. Box, no. Sorry. I only knew what was in the box because I'd gone and did a bit of research, looked on YouTube, read up about it, and I was like, right, so it's Megatron and a fossilizer in translucent purple. Okay, I'll drop the money on it. Why not? I don't own a Megatron. I need a G1 looking Megatron for my collection. Boom, done. If I'd had the previous incarnations, wouldn't have bought it. Plain and simple, would not have bought it if I already had one in my collection. There's not much appeal for the exclusives. In my opinion.
The target audience for that box was just you.
Yeah. It was a purple dinosaur. Of course I'm going to get it. I love purple. Right, I think
bagging on Skywalk earlier.
Oh yes, Thew has a lot of Skywalks, don't you? I'm not dissing him. I do like him as a character. It's just I don't have the connection that someone like Thew has with him. So
I don't like him as a character. He's not really a character.
Well, he's there in the background.
he's a filler goon, yeah. And
he's
honestly,
a smart ass.
I love a filler goon. So what's the problem?
You do have an impressive collection of the figures, though, don't you? With I know you've got a couple of masterpiece ones, haven't you?
Yeah, I got the Hasbro release of the original mold because that was originally the Takara release. It was sort of black and lavender.
Yeah.
But they released it in Hasbro markets in a hideous box for in Argos in like 2009.
Oh,
and it got marked down severely. That. Yeah, it didn't sell very well, so I got it for like £35. But I've also got a couple of knockoffs of the later masterpiece, the special edition Oh God, MP13S or something.
Oh, the
Oh.
dark screen with the cape and the crown, is that?
Yes, yeah, I did have that version. I moved it on because I got an even different one.
Yeah.
It's that same figure, but in a slightly more lilac-y purple with straight. I could show you, but I'd have to pick up.
No, don't worry about it.
No.
Honestly, don't worry about it.
And I also have an oversized Masterpiece knockoff as well. It's obscenely huge. But I don't want to risk picking it up because it's not.
No. Honestly,
it's not very healthy. It's not a healthy boy. It's just large.
Yes.
But
yes.
Yeah, 3 Masterpiece Skywolves is probably enough. And now they're doing another one.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Oh, they're doing that Toonaki room one, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing a whole new Seeker mold. I think they've already revealed Starscream and Thundercracker. But your
Thundercracker
can't be far away.
Oh, I love Thundercracker. He's a grumpy old bastard. That's why I love him.
I suppose that leads us nicely into then favorite character, not so much overall Transformers, just from the early days, not necessarily the original cartoon, but the film, the show, even figures that popped up that weren't actually characters featured anywhere. They just appeared. So, anyone?
Soundwave.
Oh, God.
I can go with that. He's Man of Mystery.
Yeah, exactly. He's the Man of Mystery, but he's got the tapes, and the tapes are ace. And Rumble's just a mouthy little git, and I love him. Just because he is a mouthy little git.
Yeah, man, we love Soundwave.
So was I back then. So I could just so relate to him. It's like, yeah.
I think for me, it would have to be going back. I remember going absolutely crazy with my parents one year for Christmas that I wanted a toy of Jazz, because apparently when I was a kid, that was my favorite because he was a Porsche and he liked music. And my dad told me he was voiced by the guy from The Shining. And I was like, oh, what's The Shining?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's a completely different one. But yeah, so I would have to say for me, it was Jazz. And I think it's not just the way he looked, like rewatching it growing, now that I'm older, he was definitely... You could tell he was the number 2 guy. If anything happened to Optimus, he was the one to go to. He was the one in charge after Optimus. Calling all the Autobots' names out and telling them to transform and everything. It's like, yeah, this is the second in command guy. And that just
it was.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to Ironheart.
Yeah, and then he got ripped in half by Hugo Weavingatron.
Yes. Hugo Weavingatron.
I'm sorry.
I love that.
Not to diss the film, but yeah. He did a good part, I will say that. That's all I'm going to say on it.
He played it well,
no Frank
but he
Welker.
didn't enjoy doing it.
Well, let's face it, all those guest voices for the movie were just sort of dollar.
Oh, yeah. There's
Go do your little cartoon. Give us a load of money. Okay, I'll take it in a dump truck. Thanks.
And that's what it's all about. Right.
Of course it is.
I think to wrap things up, just sort of passing over kind of quite briefly, weirdest piece of Transformers merchandise that you own or have owned?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Somebody, a little while ago, somebody sent a thing for me to look at on the channel. And it was, do you remember Robots in Disguise, 2001?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a character in that, like a computer sort of Vocaloid chick. I can't remember her name, but they released a PVC figure of her having a bath. And
oh my God.
It's very weird because like she's sort of sat like this. You can't see what I'm doing, but she's sat with her arms together
we get the idea.
In like sort of foamy water, and her knees are poking out, and it's really sleazy. And then, like, around the edge of the water, there's like this little rock formation, and you got little Optimus Prime peeking over.
Oh no!
And somebody sent that in, and it made me really uncomfortable.
I can imagine it's making my skin crawl just thinking about it. That just sounds like.
No, Optimus is not a pervert. Won't have it.
Let's not kink shame.
No.
No, let's.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, actually, yeah. He's meant to be the leader of the Autobots. Good, true, and justice. He cannot be a peeping Tom.
No, he can't.
He cannot be voyeuristic. Voyager class, yes. Voyager class, no.
Let's just nix that whole line of questioning. Strike that from the record.
Right. The weirdest piece of Transformers stuff that I currently own would be this weird little fuck nugget.
What's that?
Oh, that's Mr. Potato Head.
No. I found this in Poundland. Oh, must be going back about 15 years now. I just met my ex-partner, and we were buying each other little gifts and things like that. I came home from work one day, and she said, I saw this, and I knew you'd love it. Pull it out the bag, and it is a wind-up egg crossed over with Transformers, and its name is Egamus Prime. And it actually does. You wind it up and it walks, and it's got the little gun, and it waves its gun about. And it's just, there was a Megatron to go with it called Lord Egatron.
The Sonic crossover we didn't know we needed.
Yes,
of course,
exactly. That was my thought. But yeah, that's the weirdest thing I own, is a little egg. Wind up walking egg transformer. Weirdly enough, I was actually going to send it to you, Thew, for your Damn It Open series.
Oh God, please don't. I'm all right.
Oh, this was a couple of years ago. It was back before I moved. I was like, I need to declutter some stuff, and I was like, that's Transformers. I could send that to Thew on his Damn It Open thing, and yeah, he might show it on the show, he might not, but at least it's not here anymore.
I feel like that's how a lot of stuff ends up with me. People just clearing out their rooms, like, look at all this trash. But God, I must have weirder stuff. I must have weirder stuff than the creepy PVC figure. You'll have to check the channel for it.
Awesome. I will keep
Excellent.
an eye out for that. Right. I think that about calls it for the night. We've been going for a little bit longer than planned.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens, though.
It does.
So, yeah, so this has been CaliCo Productions, the Transformers, the podcast. I've been your host, Callista Valentine, joined by Guy Jessup Braithwaite.
Hey.
And for the first episode, Thew Adams.
Party on, baby. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And if you ever want to come back, feel free.
Yes. Whenever you like.
How you feel? Nice one.
Awesome. Thanks very much, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.